This is Kathy Jordan from the traditional Irish group Dervish, asking you to listen to Sunset Road on WTJU 91.1 FM. Go Jojo Rishni Rag Kasharik Jina Grek Malanta Wahagan Session Higash.
Wise old man, you were tired when I met you. You were timeless, but you were feeling your age. Your voice was hoarse, but it still held a story. And your banjo still commanded every stage. The tale that you told me got me thinking that the story holds more power than a gun. That hope is much more powerful than money. When our voices sing together, we are one. Wise old man, I think you are immortal. The body dies, the lyric carries on, reminding me whatever I may write of. I must speak out for dispossessed and wronged. You left early, but you feel that you are here. Your presence makes me feel a bit less fear. When we sing your words, we give back what you gave, like flowers gently placed upon a grave. Wise old man, I could read your hands like braille. Every callus, every wrinkle told a tale. Your eyes were blind, but you still had an ear. Hearing was your seeing, you heard it all so clear. A sound from a distant place and time, wafting up from some lost valley through the pines. We played melodies and ridden through the night, and watched a couple dance until daylight. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're listening to WTJU. Welcome to the show. And I have a very special guest who is actually playing live, and that is Beppe Gambetta. Welcome, Beppe.
Yes, ciao. It's great to be back finally after this sort of long vacation.
Yeah, it's been a long time. When were you last in Charlottesville?
It was exactly 4 years ago. Exactly 4 years ago. So little time has passed.
A lot of time has passed, and you're still here.
Yes, and fingers still move, and new music comes. So.
Yeah. So in the intervening period, you had a new CD that you weren't able to tour with, and
Yes.
presumably you're going to have some of them tonight at your concert for the Prism Coffee House.
Yes, is a new CD where I experimented one new thing in my career. I started to write songs. Strange, to become a songwriter at 65. But it was an interesting new experience, and people seems to like my songs. And this was one song called, for example, "Wise Old Man." It's about the old great fathers of the music that I got to meet in my life. They were some of the greatest moments, to spend a little time with Paco de Lucia or with Pete Seeger or with Wayne Shorter. It was amazing. And the last verse is for Doc Watson, of course, who was the main mentor of the flat picking style, and who became, a few days ago, became 100 years old.
Yeah. It's great to be able to celebrate his birthday like that, and presumably this evening in your show you're going to play some Doc Watson pieces.
Yes, I'm going to have a celebration of Doc Watson, not only playing, some note for note Doc Watson as it is beautiful to do, but also to perform some inspired by Doc Watson music, and telling some stories, interesting story about how a life of a normal Led Zeppelin boy in Genova, Italy, can change totally from one moment to the next while he's listening to Way Downtown on an album of the Newport Folk Festival by Doc Watson. And yes, it's a celebration that I will do by telling some stories.
So it was a complete switch from rock and roll to American flat picking.
I already enjoyed, the acoustic side of Led Zeppelin. I remember that, Led Zeppelin, they have this 20% of acoustic music that is amazing, and I was already following that direction.
Yeah. If you just tuned in, you're listening to Beppe Gambetta here on Sunset Road on WTJU Charlottesville, and Beppe is playing a concert tonight for the Prism Coffee House and WTJU at the Renaissance School in Charlottesville. If you don't know where the Renaissance School is, it's on a side street off Market Street, so 2 blocks from the downtown mall and opposite the Court Square Tavern, the local landmark, so that should get you there. And what time does the show start? 7 o'clock?
Yes, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. So be there or be square.
Yes, there are still few tickets available.
All right. How about another tune from you?
Yes. I think it's appropriate for me to play for you a composition, my composition on guitar, that is about what we missed more in this period. We missed so much to the tenderness of being together with friends, and to have the possibility to embrace with our the people that we like. And so usually flat pickers, people that loves to play with the pick, they perform flashy, fast stuff. It's going to be the opposite, because I think tenderness has really an incredible importance, and so I wrote this melody that is based on tenderness, and that it's called Hide and Seek.
Beppe Gambetta live here on Sunset Road. And was that piece from your latest album?
Yes, from this album that was released in the sort of difficult period. And it's an album all of compositions and songs written by me. Yeah.
And the name of the album is?
It has two names, Dove ti ho vento and Where the Wind Blows. That is the same thing. The first is in Genovese.
And is that on Borealis Records?
Yes.
Okay. And so for our listeners who are not in Charlottesville and probably won't go to the show tonight and pick up their own copy there, you can get this album in the usual places?
I guess the Borealis and True North, they have a decent distribution, so it's possible to get it in different ways. But they are well organized. Yeah. So if you look for there is also Bandcamp, and if you look for Beppe Gambetta, Where the Wind Blows, it's
and let's spell that for our listeners: BEPPE GAMBETTA.
Yes, twice. That means Joe Shortleg. That is not a totally artistic name, but is what I have, and at a certain point I decided not to change it. And plus people in English they don't know what it means, so they think it's something exotic.
Yeah, why not? So you have that album, but in the conversation that we had before you came on the air, you said that you are beginning to work on a new album.
Yes.
And how far along with that process are you?
I wrote 5 songs, and that's I think is a good and 2 tunes. So it's in a good moment. It's the moment when you are asking to other artists to participate. It's great because I got David Grisman to participate on the album already. He recorded some parts, and Jim Parsons, who was part of the Byrds, he will help me with some vocals. So I'm excited to have these old friends joining me. And so it's a period that is prolific, because I'm recording the new album, but it just came out, this book that is a book of memories and stories and food also, and good food, that is called Declarations of Love, that we translated in English. And is giving us some good satisfaction, because it's I think in this moment people need some lightness, and so I tried to write a book that that makes you also laugh with some funny stories. You can imagine in a life of a flat picker, so many funny stories are happening.
And you will have copies of that book.
Yes,
at the concert tonight.
Well, I will have the copies of book. Yes.
And I see you have a copy of the book there, and we talked about you reading a little piece from that book. Do you want to do that now?
Yes, could be fun. Yeah. Actually, it is the book goes back in many different moments of my life, and one moment was really interesting when I was invited in Europe to perform in Czechoslovakia, because and it was still in '89, so in 88, before the wall came down. And that was a period when, especially in Czechoslovakia, folk and bluegrass were used as motor, as the revolution, as the big change. So it was an experience that was unforgettable. And I told about a moment when I performed in a big amphitheater during the festival. So let's go, maybe. I read a little. So now they finally call me. It's my turn. I walk on the big stage and approach the microphone, dazzled by the spotlight. I know that when you go on stage at a festival in Czechoslovakia, you must greet the audience by shouting into the microphone, "Ahoy!" But if this happens in July of 1988, while a revolution born among young people is about to sweep away an ancient regime, I can't know that the audience will respond in unison with all the power they have in their lungs, and I get hit by an immense that lasts quite few seconds. There are 25,000 young people shouting this word with the anger of those who want change and the joy of those who want to greet a foreigner coming from the so-called free world. And they want to do it in an unforgettable way. Their greeting literally moves the air. I feel this wind on my face, and even my hair moves slightly on my forehead. Then silence falls. 50,000 eyes are on my pick, and everyone is waiting for me to start playing. It is such an emotional moment that I am caught off guard. The cameras of the national TV are pointed on my fingers, and someone told me that we are also being broadcast in other countries in the East. Everyone is looking at me, but I hesitate to start because as an inveterate flat picker, I have planned to play the medley riding on that new river train, Turkey in the Straw. But how? The world is going through an epochal change. The foreigner arrives, maybe everyone expects an important message of brotherhood, and I propose a nursery rhyme about multiple cheating in every verse and a melody inspired by a turkey in the straw. I don't have time to reconsider and change the program. I start fast with I'm riding on that new river train. Who knows what they will think if they listen to me in Bulgaria and in Romania. But I underestimated the deep knowledge that of the folk repertoire and American bluegrass that they have around here, and how Doc Watson and flat picking are well known in this land devoted to bluegrass for so many different reasons. The response is wonderful and has so many meanings that confirm that music is always an important exercise of freedom. I can still hear the echo of that applause, and if I could have access to a time machine, that is certainly a moment I would like to relive, because it is a strong testimony that art and beauty are and will always be engines of important changes. And okay. And
what a great story.
The end of this Czechoslovakian story.
Yeah. And presumably there are lots of other great stories in there that we can learn about your life.
Yes, I'm proud. Also, I invented a vegan bolognese sauce. That is also something really special, because it's really hard to have a bolognese without meat, you know. And I sort of developed a combination of radicchio, artichoke hearts, and pine nuts that if you mix them together, they are strong like meat. So this is some other things that you can find of this book.
I know you're in this country, in English-speaking countries, they call people like you foodies.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
and I know you're a foodie because I'm on your email list, and you always, when you send out an email, you always send a list of favorite restaurants
in the world,
all over the world. So.
Yes, it's 180 restaurants all over the world. Yes,
wow.
That we are really personally checking them.
Yeah,
and the COVID has has destroyed the list for a little time, but now it's back, and sort of we found also some new really good one.
Yeah. So you're listening to Beppe Gambetta here on WTJU. I think we've got time for one more. Is that okay?
Yes.
And again, Beppe Gambetta is playing a concert tonight for the Prism Coffee House and WTJU. They're both sponsoring this concert, and it will be at the Renaissance School in Charlottesville, which is on, I don't even know the name of the side street, but it's one of the side streets off Market Street, which runs parallel to the downtown mall. And the Renaissance School entrance is opposite the Court Square Tavern. So that should get you there. The show starts at 7 o'clock, and there are still tickets available. So head on down to see Beppe Gambetta tonight. Beppe, thank you so much for being here.
What a pleasure to be back.
Just great to see you again. And we'll see you tonight. Thank you. What are you going to go out with?
I think, is a moment of celebrations. There is the celebration of Doc Watson, but also exactly today, Norman Blake, another great father of American roots and American guitar, is becoming 85. It's his birthday. So I think I have to honor this great master with a tune of Norman Blake. And Norman Blake wrote great ballads, and few of the American ballads are about a bad guy who is doing something bad and escapes, usually to Arkansas. And this is one of them. This guy is called Randall Collins, and he did something wrong, and of course he goes to Arkansas and escapes. And I have friends from Arkansas, and asking them what's the matter with Arkansas. All the stories go to Arkansas, and they didn't give me a really good answer. So is a mystery about Arkansas, but it makes good songs. $15 is my game, 15 is my draw. Randall Collins is my name down in Arkansas. Rolling dice in the railroad yard won't get you too much, Jack. Working on that section game surely bust your back. $15 is my game, 15 is my draw. Randall Collins is my name down in Arkansas. Hiding out by the water tank where the shade is cool, watching that strobo's hunting me, ain't nobody's fool. $15 is my game, 15 is my draw. Randall Collins is my name down in Arkansas. They're making up a train in the Memphis yard, the longest I ever saw. I ride it down to Fairbanks down in Arkansas. $15 is my game, 15 is my draw. Randall Collins is my name down in Arkansas. $15 is my game, 15 is my draw. Randall Collins is my name down in Arkansas.